What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today, I want to talk about intelligence and how we need to start valuing intelligence, because it's intelligence that's going to fix our collective problems as Africans on this planet. And we don't value intelligence as much as we should. We don't. And the reason why I say that is because we value other things that doesn't require intelligence, and it distracts us when we have all these other things going on. But because we don't utilize the intellect that we have as much as we should, we allow ourselves to be taken advantage of by other groups who are using their intelligence when it comes to us, when it comes to dealing with us. And the thing is, we as Africans, our intelligence is second to none. Our intelligence is the gold standard. Our intelligence is our superpower. We've proven our intelligence over time immemorial. Since we've been here, our intelligence was what got humanity where it is today. Okay? And I want to come here and emphasize that intelligence is something we should value, and we should see intelligence as something cool that our kids should strive to be. Not just playing basketball, playing football, and doing all the easy cultural things that we as Africans can do like it ain't nothing to make a quick buck. Because we got a lot of rich, stupid people out here. And because we have a lot of rich, stupid people out here, the rich upper class of African Americans, for the most part, the people who have all the money, are the stupidest people, and they get taken advantage the most, and they don't use their money to contribute to their community. As soon as they get their money, they're gone into somebody else's community, because other communities use their intelligence to make sure that that money from those rich black people gets siphoned back into their communities, whether it be buying products made by them, or whether it be marrying into families that's going to make sure that that black wealth goes back to somebody else. Right? And before I, get into what I want to say, I want to talk about a little bit of history. We all know African people are very intelligent. We're so intelligent, the rest of the world does mental gymnastics to try to convince us that we're not, even though history and the present day and pretty much everything that make modern life amazing has to do with our intelligence, right? And when Africans, got their shit together, when it was just Africans on this planet, we were able to create a level of peace and civilization, to create various different disciplines with our intelligence to build advanced society, to build megalithic, timeless structures, and we really only discovered the tip of how great Africa is. Africa is so great, you can literally just teach Africa and there's no space for anything else. And that's all you need to survive on this planet. That's all you need to accomplish anything within any discipline of academia, is to study Africa and what it has contributed to society. That's how vast it is. But the rest of the world already knows that. That's why they have all our African things in their libraries. That's why they create degrees and disciplines based around African information while stealing it and hiding it from us. Okay? That's how intelligent we are. And if you look at some of these religions, they actually go against intelligence. The problem with Christianity, right? And I'm not saying not to be a Christian, and I'm not going to say not to be a Muslim, but I want you to understand the extreme. If you pay attention to the extremes of these religions, and I have firsthand knowledge on how unintelligent Islamic people are when Islam is the only thing that they're being taught. I have firsthand knowledge, like literal firsthand knowledge. I also have firsthand knowledge of what Christianity does when that is the main thing in the center of one's education and worldview. Okay, they both are very similar in what they do, and they shun intellect. You know why they shun intellect? Because pastors and deacons and imams, they need to control the people. They need to control the people so they can have power. And the only way they can control the people is through the Quran and through the Bible. That is their weapon of control. And they have to be the ones to tell you what the book says. If you have an intelligent mass, they're going to start questioning things in the book. All of a sudden, the things that's in the book don't make sense. The contradictions come out. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of contradictions in both those books, right? And it also makes you not use your brain and use your own critical thinking and think about the world, because everybody wraps their world around man-made religions. including traditional African religions, including traditional Asian religions, any religion itself. If you are so steeped in it to the point to where that is the center of your universe, you basically cut off the rest of your brain and you do not learn anything else. Keep in mind, we're talking about a few books. There are millions of books out there with vast amount of information, but yet some people only concentrate in their whole entire worldview and everything they think and do and believe goes off of these two books, which keep them unintelligent. Right? In America, for example, Christianity, the right-wing Christian evangelical church, they shun education. I'm going to say, and I'm not trying to be political, but it's the truth. Republicans, or the people who call themselves Republicans, tend to come from areas, rural areas, where there's a large majority of Christians, evangelical Christians. The way you control evangelical Christians, you have to make them afraid of everybody else who's not a white Christian. In order to do that, they use the Bible, even though they've gotten to the point to where they write shit that's not even in the Bible. People believe things that's not even in the Bible. But because a Christian pastor said it, or because somebody wrote a book, right? And because they're a pastor, people believe it and take it as God, as God's word, right? All the pastor got to say God said is okay, right? God always says it's okay to rape, murder, and pillage other people. The Christians said God said it's okay for them to come to America and commit genocide on half the population of the planet. The Christian Bible said they can go to Africa and steal and kill millions of people and steal and kill thousands and thousands of years of culture, of intellect, of knowledge. They told them that. It was Christianity that in the Western thinking, because of Christianity, got them to go to Egypt and destroy those libraries, right? Destroy the information that the Greeks praised so much. It was religion that did all that. And when it comes to Islam, it's Islam that keeps the population of the Orient, we call the Middle East, stupid and impressionable, to creating terrorists who believe these books to be the literal word of God. It's Islam that will convince an individual to strap a bomb onto them and to go somewhere and blow themselves up, thinking that they're going to get all these virgins and all these gifts for jihad. Right? It's Islam that keeps these kids uneducated, keep them in madrasas where they get taken advantage of sexually by these imams, and they're mentally destroyed and warped, and then they go and commit terrorist activities within their own communities to people who just want to live and be enlightened. It's Islam that has something against intelligence. It's Islam. Anytime, like for instance in Nigeria, anytime people with intelligence that want to teach the people, anytime they want to teach children to be individual thinkers, to think outside the box, to make themselves little geniuses, it's Islam that comes in that commit terrorist activity because they don't want an educated population. Islam is the problem in Africa. Islam is the problem in Africa because it maintains an ignorant, unknowledgeable population that believes anything these horrible, horrible imams tell them and make them go do the things that they would never do if they were to use their brain and just think practically about life. It's Christianity. Christianity in Europe is what kept the people deaf, dumb, and blind to the world. It's Christianity in Europe that basically kept all European slaves to the rich masters. You see, you'll never catch a imam, for example. You'll never catch those imams that say that it's glorious to die in battle by blowing yourself up, committing suicide. You'll never see them do it. You'll never see them strap a bomb onto them because they're smart enough to know that's retarded and dumb. They keep their unintelligent population to do it, so they don't got to do it. Same in Christianity. Christianity, the king and the priest will send these guys off to war. They'll send them off to die, so that these kings and these dukes and these duchesses and these priests to go steal, rape, murder, and pillage other lands, while they send their youth off to go die, okay, for nothing, because they don't care about them either. It's Christian is religion that keeps us down and that promotes anybody that has intelligence must be part of the Illuminati. They must be looked down upon because they're intelligence. Have you ever noticed in America that the Republican Party, and I'm just using the Republican Party because it's true, not because I'm trying to be political, but you ever notice the Republican Party always seems to have problem with colleges or people who go to college? Do you want to know why? because they keep their people stupid in those rural parts of America, of North America. But what happens with those kids that they raise in their houses, teaching them to be racist, teaching them to be afraid of everybody who don't look like them, teaching them to be afraid of other religions, teaching them to think that everybody else is going to hell other than them. What happens when those children from that sheltered, boxed life that they lived in those little villages in America that 60% of white people live in, those little tiny villages in the woods that they live in, right? Those guys, when their children finally escape those villages, they go off to college, and guess what? They meet other people from other places who also go into that college. Then they see other perspectives, other points of view, and those people in those colleges articulate those other points of views, for the most part, sometimes biasly and unbiasedly. But either way, they get exposed to more information that the world has to offer. Then they tend to change their mind on the way they think. So the careful racist seeds that they plant in their children, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes the seeds get pulled out and a new seed is planted, right? A seed of understanding, right? They start to form their own opinions, and they start to think freely as a human being, having their own experience on this planet and not letting somebody else curate their experience on this planet with dogma in their head. That's why the Republican Party hates education. That's why if you look at the news, anytime somebody has intelligence, they look at them, oh, you snobby, you stuck up. It's just a modern day version of what the Christians used to do in Europe. Did you know that the Illuminati was actually a group of people who were intelligent? They were scientists, and the Illuminati, it was meant to illuminate one's mind. Basically, they were trying to get back to the natural sciences that they learned from the Romans, and the Romans learned from the Greeks, and the Greeks learned from the Africans. You see, if religion, the way it's manifested today, right? And I'm talking about the way we manifest and utilize and understand what we call religion today. If that thing never existed, we would be so far advanced as a human being, because they would have never burnt the libraries in Alexandria. They would never stole all the books and all the art and they would have never burnt down all the kingdoms and all the proof of the archaeological achievements of Africans in West and Central and South Africa. They would have never done that. But their religion forced him to destroy all these things because they saw it as blasphemous, or they were just jealous, and they used religion to disguise the fact that they saw a superior civilization that far preceded them, that when it came to intellect, architect, high society, far surpassed them. And because they had the ability to blow things up with gun and cannon, they chose gun and cannon, and they didn't choose their brains. That's why we're so far behind as human beings. We could have been so much further. And if you notice, we Africans, despite all the things they burnt, tore down, and destroyed, we still, under duress, contributed to the majority of the things, and almost all of the key scientists and inventions that make this a modern world, and that made it so human beings could even spread even further and live in various different places on this planet. The refrigeration by itself might be top 5 greatest invention ever in the history of mankind. Period. And we invented that, amongst other things. As a matter of fact, those mud huts that they like to make fun of, the mud hut is the superior building product for the earth. It's superior, far surpassing anything the modern Western world has ever created, calling it superior simply because it looks good because of the trim. But looks good compared to what perspective? Because as far as I'm concerned, mud huts look very, very aesthetically pleasing to my African perspective. Guess what? A mud hut, guess what? It'll keep the bugs out. You know what you ain't got to worry about with a mud hut? You ain't got to worry about mosquitoes. You ain't got to worry about termites eating up your house. You don't have to worry about air conditioning. Africans created natural air conditioning. We didn't have to plug it in. We had natural air conditioning. We understood the flow of air and how it all works when enclosing it and trying to ventilate. No, we understood all that. Mud huts, matter of fact, now Europeans or the Western world is trying to go back to those mud huts that they tried to shame us for. But now they call it rammed earth. You know they like to rename things, right? You know they like to rename things so it can seem like it come from them, right? But literally, for the thing that they made fun of us for, our intelligence, knowing that mud huts was a superior building material, guess what? It's also natural. It's also organic. It also makes it so we can move about the way we want and not disturb the earth, living in simpatico with the earth, which is something we need to do. Just because we have technology doesn't mean we shun ourselves away from living a more natural life. A more natural life actually is the most advanced form of living. We can have technology and live a more natural life, right? We can design, and if you see, they like to make fun of our mud huts. We've built castles and massive kingdoms using that same mud, that mud that's right in the ground. It's much cheaper to build. Like I said, it's the superior material, right? You'll live comfortably with building with mud huts, and it's a much cheaper product that's more available, right? That's just one example of how we don't use our intelligence, and we fall for the dogma and the perspective of the Western world, and we're ashamed of the things that we've created. Therefore, we're not inspired to go further to advance the thing that we already created to make it even better. You understand? And so, so when it comes to education, we African people, we need to start making intellect cool. We need to start having a large, vast vocabulary cool. I get tired of talking to these. I noticed that when since I've been doing YouTube, I've noticed that a lot of our people are not intelligent. They can't formulate a sentence. They can't even speak when they're trying to argue with me because their brain doesn't have the capacity to do it because they don't learn. They stop learning as soon as they leave school. But you're supposed to learn that's an African thing. We're supposed to be taking education seriously. Africans take education seriously. Caribbeans take education seriously. African Americans, we take education seriously, but we still have too many people within our communities that don't value education. They rather listen to death music. An intelligent African society would know that the music that we create, that magic that we create, that the whole world sucks in and absorbs, that magic can also be used for bad magic, right? And right now, our music is being used for bad magic. It's poisoning us. Our kids are walking around with their headphones absorbing negative vibes, negative vibrations with the crap that the white Western world has decided that they want to promote into the minds of our children. When clearly, as African people, we have the capability of creating that very same music that has that same effect, but in a positive way. We prove it all over. That's why Caribbean music, minus some of the Jamaican music, because Jamaicans got the same issue with some of their music, poisoning their members of their community with death music. Right? Death music, right? But we have things like in the Caribbean where music is not death music. Music, we can have love-making music. We can have music that celebrates the man and the woman. That's what we do, right? But when we have music that says, hey, let's hurt our brothers and sisters for white Western trinkets, that's a problem. And we promote that and we sell that. Now, I like my raunchy music like the rest, right? And I can listen to some crappy music that tell me to go do this, do that, and I can bump to it and feel the vibe, but I'm not going to go out and do it, right? But that's because I'm intelligent enough to know that is not real. That's a fantasy, but not everybody is like that. There are people who think wrestling is still real, even though it's clearly not, right? I'm talking about WWE. There are people who can't control their emotions in sports, and they forget it's a game because they absorb it as it's real life. You understand? People take things a lot more seriously than people really want to give things credit for. And music is a very powerful tool that inspires people to do things and take certain actions. So if the music that we create is inspiring our children to kill each other, we probably should use our intelligence to do something about it. Instead of just saying, that's not cool, stop being a geek, stop being a square, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Rather use your lingo and be, and be cool and be down with the peeps. We're holding on to negative aspects of our culture because we don't want to be seen uncool to the rest of the members of our community. That's holding us back, and no one else is responsible for that than us. We have to take responsibility for the things that we do. We have to be prideful of our intellect, right? Because it takes work to be intelligent, and everybody has the capability to be intelligent. Every human being on this planet has the capability of being intelligent if they decide they want to do it. And you don't have to be ashamed to be intelligent. Intelligent people are ashamed to say anything because society, whether it be religion, right, or anything else, has shamed people for being intelligent because they get categorized as arrogant, as uppity, as a part of the Illuminati. Because it's easy to come up with conspiracy theories. It's easy to come up with ideas based off your feelings when you don't have intelligence. And when I listen to some of these YouTubers, I realize as popular as a lot of them are, They're not really that intelligent, but their audience is less intelligent than them, so they don't realize that they're listening to somebody that's not intelligent. They think they're listening to somebody smart, but when in actuality, you have one really unintelligent person listen to another who's slightly less unintelligent. And then that person is listening to somebody who's slightly less unintelligent. So you got a unintelligent person who's inspiring a less unintelligent person who's also inspiring even less unintelligent people. And that is a problem that we have, right? Because people fall for it all the time. That's why I like to be intelligent. I am intelligent, but I wasn't always intelligent. I made myself intelligent. And I know school's not always a place where you're going to make yourself intelligent. You as an African have the capability of making yourself intelligent. And listen, in the age of information, there's no excuse for ignorance. I hear people in my comment section saying the dumbest things with their chest wide out. I hear YouTubers say the dumbest things with their chest just as loud, just as confident. I mean, they'll put their whole paycheck on it. They'll put the information they send, they'll put their mama life on it. They put their kids' life on it. That's how stupid they are. And stupid people don't usually know they're stupid. That's what makes them stupid. You see, a stupid person thinks they're the smartest person in the room. A stupid person thinks they got it all figured out. A stupid person never admits they're stupid. Have you ever seen a stupid person say, yeah, you're right, I'm stupid? Never. You've never. They always think they're smart as shit. But intelligent people know that they don't know anything. Because guess what? None of us on this planet, we don't know shit. And that's the best position to have. And you always seek information, always improving the things that you know, so we can act different and be different, in society. We're all supposed to be having an experience on this planet. We're all individually supposed to be enjoying ourselves, including Europeans, including Asian, everybody. We're all supposed to be having the best time of our lives while we're down here doing this thing, right? This thing we call life. We're supposed to be doing it. But a lot of us are wasting it with closed minds because of religion, because of politics, right? And because of other cultural attributes, like in the Asian community. The Asian community, they have a lot of closed cultural attributes that keep their people stupid. They keep them people enclosed. That keep them people not being able to live a full life. We have a lot of social norms that are made up by the people that's supposed to be in charge that they don't themselves follow, that we the masses try our best to follow, that limit our ability to enjoy life. It's true. But if we use education and we become more intelligent, we'll start questioning those things as a group of people, right? Collectively. Because until the level of intellect rises in the human species, until the Homo sapien becomes more intelligent, we're always going to do things like fight unnecessary wars like it's happening in Ukraine, it's happening in the Middle East, it's happening in Asia, it's happening in Africa, it's happening in Central America, that's happening in South America. There's a war in every continent, everywhere. Dumb people are killing each other for dumb reasons because rich people who know better don't care because they're evil. We need more good, intelligent people to fight against those evil people who are intelligent. You understand? So we just got to make being smart cool. And when people are dumb, there's no excuse for it. I'm going to make fun of you because you're being stupid. If you're stupid, I'm going to call you stupid. I got to say it in a different way because YouTube is going to demonetize me like they did my other channel. My other channel got demonetized. But good thing I'm not using YouTube to try to make money. I'm using this to make to sell a message. So I'm always going to tell my story, whether YouTube give me $5 or not. That's the difference between me and these other guys. These other guys, because they're so stupid, right? They'll follow the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, or TikTok algorithm, or they'll follow the Gmail, the Google algorithm, or whatever algorithm they're out there, or the Instagram algorithm, because they'll do what they're told, like good little drones. Because when the algorithm tells you to do something, you do it. Especially if you're unintelligent, because you don't think for yourself. But I think for myself, so I go against the algorithm because I know I want my subscribers to find me. I understand that my channel should be way bigger than most people in my group. I understand that. I know some YouTubers, they bought the reason why they got 100,000 subscribers because they paid for them. You don't know that now, do you? You can go pay for subscribers. It's false. You can pay for it to make yourself look big. A lot of people do that, especially salespeople, right? They do that, right? Because they want to look good. They want a certain impression. But in actuality, they're not as intelligent as they may appear, right? They're just trying to make you think they're smart. So what I do, I don't follow the algorithm. I don't care. That's why I don't say like and share in my videos, really. Sometimes, maybe, if it's important, but I don't say like and share. Because guess what? If you want to share it, you're going to do it. An intelligent person will say, you know what? I think my friend such and such is going to want to see this video, right? I don't need to do flashy things. I don't need to do things to try to keep your attention in order to hear what I got to say, because I don't want people who don't have attention spans to hear what I got to say. I want you to have a certain level of comprehension to understand what I'm saying. I want you to have a certain level of intelligence to understand what I'm saying, because if you don't, you can't be in this class. You need to go back down and do remedial. You need to go down there and learn at another level. And then when you finally figure it out, then you come up so you can understand what it is that I'm saying, because I'm not going to dumb down my message for idiots and stupid people. You understand? I'm only talking to intelligent people, because it's the intelligent people who's going to make the change, not the stupid people. No matter how much they complain about this, no matter how they bitch and moan about this, no matter how many opinions they have, they're stupid. So they're never going to do anything. So there's no point in me having them. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want you people to start, flexing your intellect. Start flexing your vocabulary. Start flexing your understanding of language, because it's a flex. It's truly is a flex. All right, and start making fun of these idiots. Maybe you'll shame them into making themselves more intelligent, and it doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you smart. It's better to flex on that than flex on dumb stuff that don't matter. You understand what I'm saying? And if we do that and we plant the seeds of intelligence and seeking intelligence to our children, then our next generations are going to be smarter. And that's what we really should be concentrating on. Because if you're an adult right now, if you're in your 30s or 40s and you've already got your mind made up, then and you're not part of the change, you're done. You're no good. There's no need talking to you. It's the children, people who want to make effective change for the children in our community, because we got to give them something. Our generation needs to give our children. So you see, my generation, not my generation, the generation before me, you see, they were caught up in the crack epidemic because of Ronald Reagan. They were caught up in the war on drugs / black people. So they were discombobulated, right? Because before that, they were very pro-black, pro-African. The hip hop was pro-African. Hip hop was pro-unity, pro-black, positive, fight the machine, fight the system. It was a revolutionary art form that we got inspired by our African brothers and sisters in the history of Africans through the griots, who for thousands of years have been rapping to that 808 beat drum, for telling stories to their pupils, telling stories to people, roaming around Africa, telling stories about what happened way back when. Do you know that oral history is much easier to understand than written history? They try to, even though we were the first persons to write down history, and we were very good at writing down history, but we're also very good at oratory skills when it comes to oratorily explaining our history. And I can make a really good example right now. I guarantee you, I can play a song that came out 20 years ago, a very popular song, and I guarantee you automatically, as soon as you hear the beat, your mind will go into the file and pull out the words of that song, and you will know every one of those words, and you don't even know how you know the word. That's how intelligent we are in our brains, but we don't even think about how smart we are. Yet, I can pull a book out, and I guarantee you won't be able to recite every single word of that book. You literally still need the book in order to remember the book. But when you sing it, when you rap it, you keep on singing it, and you keep on rapping it, and it gets in your head, it's there. That's what makes it so dangerous. That's why we're so inspirational around the world. That's why our voice is so powerful. We've mastered the skill of oratory expression of one's feelings and telling how the world is. We've mastered that. We are the masters on this planet. No one's better than us when it comes to the skills of the oratory, the skills of comprehension, the skills of articulation. And we need to flex that as Africans. The same way African people flex it, the same way Caribbeans flex it. African Americans, we got to get back to flexing it the way we used to. We need to get back to telling our girls getting an education is important. We need to get back to telling our boys getting an education is important. Getting an education is a flex. Continuing your education is a flex. Striving for career fields in certain artistic and sciences is a flex. Not being a football player or a basketball player because it's something easy we can do as black people and because we're physically gifted. Yes, if you become a football player or a basketball player, you could be an instant millionaire, right? But look at all these dumbass millionaires losing their money to snow bunnies and dumb investments. And look at all these intelligent people going to the scientists, using their brain, losing the athleticness of their intellect to enrich themselves, making the same amount of money over a longer period of time. But it's their money, and they're smart enough to know what to do with it. And they're smart enough to build something for their children in the future. That's what we need to do. Start living our lives for our children in the future. investing in our children in the future while still enjoying our lives today. I enjoy my life, right? I'm striving to be rich, right? I have other things going on that's not YouTube that should be rich, because I understand YouTube doesn't make you rich. There's only a few rich YouTubers. Don't let these people on YouTube lie to you. YouTube pay you like $1 for 1,000 views if you lucky. You need millions upon millions upon millions of views to actually make yourself rich. It's not you just gonna be another YouTuber stuck to the algorithm making videos every goddamn week so you can get paid. You understand? Slave. I'll be damned if I'm a slave. Do what you want, YouTube. I'm gonna post my videos whether you give me money or not, because I'm free, because I'm smart, and I'm trying to do other things. And I show you what I'm trying to do to enrich myself. But while I'm enriching myself, guess what I'm doing? Enjoying my motherfucking life. That's another thing we need to do. Start enjoying your life and start waiting to be rich to enjoy it. You can do anything you want to do with the money that you make now, as long as you're smart enough to know how to use that money effectively as a tool to do what you want to do. Everything a rich person do, you can do. You don't need to stay in a hotel and pay $10,000 a month. A night for a hotel. If you don't take your ass down to a regular hotel room and get one for a couple $100, because you ain't going to be spending much time in there anyway. You see, that's what a smart person does. Okay? A dumb person with money goes and buys that $10,000 penthouse that he's going to be in there for 8 hours when he sleep and wake up while he goes out on town and do all that other stuff. There's an example. We got to get smarter so we know how to spend our money, so we know how to operate politically as a group of people. That means we have to become intelligent on how politics works, because I listen to a bunch of people who are so stupid they don't know what they're talking about in politics, and they influence other people who are less intelligent than them. And now we got a bunch of dumb people who really think they know what they're talking about, when in actuality they don't. They're just talking about their feelings that they manifested off somebody else that they watched on YouTube that got some other feelings about how they felt. You see what I'm saying? Just sheep walking around doing that. You understand? That's a lot was just happening. Okay? So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. I just wanted to give you that because that was on my mind, and I just think that we black people, we need to start flexing our intelligence, prioritize intelligence, because it's intellect, it's intelligence that is going to get you living a long, healthy, and prosperous life at the end. And it's intelligence that's going to make sure that your grandchildren are secured financially in the future. Okay? Anyway, that's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach some. I'm out.